Thank you. Oh, okay. Very good. What is this? Tell now. Woo! You see the shirt here? We are asking the question, where did we come from? Did we come from an ape-like creature 3 to 4 million years ago? Or during the evolutionary process, did aliens give us a boost? And that's the reason why we went from caveman to Homo sapien sapien within a very short period of time with lost technology that we gained from them. That's the theory. Or did we come from a race of genius giants whose first names, or the first ones that were created 6 to 10,000 years ago, were Adam and Eve, and that we have dumbed down since then, both physically, environmentally, our age, our capacity to remember, learn, and intelligence, and that we're on a downward path, unfortunately, to something that is going to end it in a spectacular, good way that you can read about in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation. Whew, that's a lot packed into all three of these images. That's what we talk about. We talk about that. Apes tampered with, fallen angels. Well, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. The fallen angels never did anything genetically to anything other than perhaps plants and thistles and thorns. It's possible that, before the flood that there were things going on genetically, but not necessarily anything angelic as far as their DNA. That's where the line is crossed. A lot of people today believe that that is the case, and that's where the Nephilim or the giants come from. Our contention is that we were born more than twice as tall, created more than twice as tall, maybe, and I'm guessing, 10 times as intelligent as we are today, and we lived nearly 1,000 years. And Josephus, the Jewish historian, a writer, claimed that not only did he believe that, but he said that and he lists a whole group of other historians that all said that the people before the flood lived nearly 1,000 years. Interesting. Yeah, there were some dramatic environmental changes that took place right after the flood, so much so that the ages of humans went from 900 years to 650 to 400, 200, and then within 6 generations, we have Abraham at 175 years old. And then from there, you know what happened. So, something really drastically, impacted our environment 4,500 years ago. So, oh, well, Mason, I'm glad you're here. Were there giant trees? Yes, but not the ones that are being purported today to be those giant trees, meaning that we had 1,600 years and mature trees being created in the beginning. We don't know how big they were, but they had 1,600 years to grow larger. In the fossil record, we find evidences of that, but we don't find evidences of trees 40, 50 feet wide. Not that I have seen, but we'll see 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet. And even a little bit thicker than that. There's one, I did a video on a tree that was 250 feet or more, somewhere around there, tall, that was fossilized. So, does it bother you that you just make stuff up? No, because I try very hard not to skirt the line or even go over that line of making stuff up. What I'm sharing with you is documented information. It's up to you to believe it either intellectually or really it's really a question of the heart. It's really more so that than it is the head. I could bring you to, I'm just proverbially speaking, I could bring a group of let's say, atheist evolutionists to Mount Ararat, show them the 500-foot vessel, 15,500 feet up on the northeast side of Mount Ararat, the resting place of Noah's Ark. And I know that probably the majority, and I'm guessing, the majority will express their reaction to it as one individual did some 20 years ago when I asked the question. I said, what would you do if you saw a 5,000-year-old vessel 15,500 feet up on Mount Ararat as Genesis states that it is? You know what he said to me? He said to me, it would prove nothing. It would just prove that there's a very large vessel on top of a mountain. I think that there's a difference between here, and that chasm between here and here is barred by the way of a decision. and it's not a very easy thing to overcome. Meaning that a God that wants this and this to match in the way that he has laid things out and explained things, there's a lot of resistance to that. And a heart that has no need, feels no need whatsoever, even within the religious group of people, okay, is the most difficult thing for him to see it out of that. Let me just put it that way. Thank you. I don't mind you guys disagreeing, and you can even be disagreeable if you want, and you can even be a troll if you want. I'm just glad you guys are here. So, sorry I can't get to all your questions. You're asking some wonderful things and even making some really great statements too. What about the footprint that you own? I'm going to show the handprint in just a second. Thank you, Del, for the TikTok roses. I appreciate it. How tall was Nephilim? We believe that the Nephilim were nothing more than another way of expressing the giants of old, meaning that they were us. How tall were they? Well, Og, which we get the word ogre from, he had a bed that was 14 feet, I believe, by 6 feet wide. So you get an idea that he was pretty big. Goliath was anywhere between 9'9" and 11.5 feet tall. So if the genetics had gotten worse, and Goliath was around 3,000, about 3,000 years after the original creation, and if he's 11 feet, figure Adam and Eve around 12, 13, maybe Adam 14, 15 feet. That's my guess, okay? Should we be afraid of the decreased oxygen? No, because it's stabilized and we're used to it. It's just that it's taken its toll, unfortunately, on us. That's why I find hyperbaric chambers so fascinating. They have the same, you can replicate the conditions before the flood, and great healing can be done inside those chambers. Was there a Bigfoot on the ark? No. Bigfoot, I believe, is nothing more than a spiritualistic entity that is being manifested and in our own terms here in the United States, and that it's nothing more than the fallen angels, I'm talking Lucifer and his buddies, manifesting themselves in such a way to scare the living daylights and just give us just enough evidence in order to keep us off kilter. That's my thought. I don't believe that it has a place within the framework of the creation model. They say Adam was about 30 meters. He wasn't 30 meters tall. Think about it for a second. I know that the book says it is, but, more than twice as tall as men today. I go along with that, but 30 meters means that he was 100 feet tall. 100 feet tall? Look at the dimensions of the ark. The ark does not accommodate a 100-foot tall human, nor does it accommodate anything that's even near that. The ark was anywhere between 45 to 60 feet tall with three levels. That means that if you had 2-foot timbers in between, okay, you're looking at approximately 12 to 13 feet to 18 feet distance, if they were all equal distance, between the levels on the ark. Yes, there were giants after the flood, and my theory is that before they dumbed down in size, like they did in age and intellect, that they went around and they created some magnificent megalithic structures that the indigenous people that we see today were able to inherit and then build their portion of it, some of them magnificent, on top of, next to, or adjoining. And we're doing a series of videos on YouTube on Peru. We were there last year, and we're going to be exploring that idea of who and how were these things, these megalithic stones created. We won't have all the answers, but we've got a few. So, are we going to be shorter in the future? Actually, because of whatever, we've increased in size maybe a little bit. The average man is still 5'10", the average woman about 5'3", 5'4". But, and I know that maybe during Roman times or whatever, we were a little bit shorter and everything, but Maximus, the Russell Crowe film, Gladiator? Maximus was 8 feet 6 inches tall, and he was strong. Ate 40 pounds of meat a day and drank 18 to 19 bottles of wine a day. This guy's foot was twice the size and length of the average Roman foot. Yeah, this guy was huge. So we hear about, if you look, you'll hear about long-lived individuals and large individuals, and the further back you go, the more prevalent or more commonplace. But the problem is the further back you go, more scant the evidence is, in order to be able to. That's the idea, at least. From a young Earth creationist perspective, the one that I adopt, we came from a race of genius giants some 6,000 years ago, and after the worldwide flood 4,500 years ago, we've gotten shorter, less intelligent, shorter. Our life expectancy has dramatically decreased, and genetically we have been dumbing down for the last 6,000 years. So hang on, everyone, hang on, So if you hear stories about great-great-grandpa being able to move 300, 400, 500-pound things, being able to have the know-how to do it and the strength to do it, and you heard about great-great-grandpa having extraordinary strength, it started to dawn on us that maybe even in the last 4 generations there's been some dumbing down, and it's not necessarily just because we have machinery. I'm sure that has something to do with it. What about the pyramid theory? I'll tell you what, let me show you something that, and by the way, because I have you guys on here, I'm going to give you 2 ways to be able to interface with us, if you want. If you guys want to be alerted whenever we have a YouTube video, TikTok video, or we go live on either platform, those are the 2 platforms that we're on. I'm going to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, but right now I'm going to make an offer for you guys to, if you would like, to be able to text us. Now, this is not good outside the United States. This number right here goes to a special text line that comes to me directly. So if you text this number and say, "Hey, John," I'll say, "Welcome to the club, Bob. Welcome to the club, Mary." And we have 118 people that receive, like this morning, a quick text saying we're going live. And we do that for those who are really our fans. Now, it doesn't cost anything to be a, I don't want to say super fan, but you know what I'm saying, that want to take this next step and want to get to know us a little better and actually to be, not to miss anything that we do on the 2 platforms that we offer. So that's what's going on there. Now, one more commercial break. Oh, thank you for the universe there. I like Galaxy. Excuse me, the Galaxy. That's really cool. We're going to talk about the iron cup in coal in just a second, but I want to make this offer to you guys. I would like to give you this free report. Actually, 2 free reports. This one is called "Is There Life on Other Worlds?" This is a 5-page report you can't get anywhere in the universe except for right here on here. It's not on my website. It's not online. I created this myself to answer the question from a creationist and an evolutionist point of view. What do aliens look like? Is there life on other worlds? The answer is yes, but what does that mean exactly? This 5-page report is jaw-dropping. You will love it. How do you get it? Just sign up for our weekly newsletter. That's the address right there. And when you do, you will be able to download this immediately. 3 top reasons Noah's Ark must still exist. For those of you, now I'm going to be sending out the newsletter tomorrow. It's weekly. If you don't like it, you can always opt out, but you get 2 cool free reports in the process. So if you want to get the Noah's Ark report and this report, "Is There Life on Other Worlds?" that's your portal to do it. When you do sign up, I'll send this to you later today, okay? So, and I will send this to you personally. All right, so there's our commercial for the day. All right, so this bad boy, let me just set this down here for right now. This bad boy is a replica of the original. Let me tell you the backstory of this. Let me give you a nice close-up view. The original is just the cup. This right here is for, I guess you could say, dramatic purposes. I did not create it, but this cup is the original size from the original cup, and it was found in coal. Now, I'm going to read this to you on the back side of it. It says here that, and this is the testimony of the individual that found it. "While I was working in the municipal electric plant in Thomas, Oklahoma in 1912, I came upon a solid chunk of coal which was too large to use. I broke it with a sledgehammer. This pot fell from the center, leaving the impression or mold of this pot in the piece of the coal. Jim Stull, an employee of the company, witnessed the breaking of the coal. So there were two people that witnessed this and saw the pot fall out. I traced the source of the coal and found that it came from the Wilburton, Oklahoma mines. And this is from Frank J. Kennard, sworn to me in Sulphur Springs, Arkansas, this day, the 27th of November, 1948, and it was Julia Eldred, notary public in Benton County. Well, he waited 36 years, and maybe because that he wanted to make sure that he could leave behind a truthful notarized statement. Now, understand, notarized statements doesn't mean that it's truthful. And it doesn't mean that this man is not lying. He could be. I don't know what he would gain from it. Obviously, this artifact would fly in the face of science, and there would be a lot of ridicule. That's typically when you have a one-off like this. I know of another individual that has something, has a fishing reel in 600 million year old stone down in Tennessee. And I'm giving you an evolutionary timetable. And he was laughed at by the geologists at I think it was the Chattanooga, Tennessee University there, whatever that is, U of T. He brought it before 12 geologists, and they snickered, and but they didn't want to hurt the old man's feelings, so they just kind of, patted him on the back, said, good job. That's what happens when you have an artifact like that. Obviously, the two pieces were never collected. That stinks. What are you going to do? We're basing this off of his testimony. Let's just say that he's correct. Why would an iron pot be in coal? Coal is supposed to be 300 million years old, unless the timetable is incorrect, and that coal, like limestone and other alluvial or sedimentary rocks like slate, were all created during the worldwide flood. If in fact that is true, premise, conclusion, okay, so follow me here, then this cup was an antediluvian, or before the flood, iron cup. Perhaps it was created by Tubal-Cain. Tubal-Cain is noted in the scriptures 5,500 years ago as a metallurgist who dealt with brass, bronze, brass, and iron, and just speculation. However, this was a fashioned iron cup. Now, this iron cup can be seen at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. We're heading back down there at the end of April. We've already taken video and photos of this. I actually held it in my hand. The cup is real. Is the story real is the question. Are there other evidences? And this is the takeaway from this. Not that this is true, but to then keep your eyes open for other anomalies or artifacts or things that are found in coal mines, caves. And when you do, should you see another interesting artifact, human or otherwise, something that's out of place that shouldn't be there, you can come back to this story and say, maybe it was a worldwide flood. Maybe time is compressed and it's not as old as the geologists are telling us. That's the idea. So, all right, now let me show you another artifact that is trending right now, and that's this right here. This is the world-famous handprint in stone, and this is a replica of the original. Okay, the original is in, again, Glen Rose, Texas, at the Creation Evidence Museum, and it is so much more compelling than this bad boy right here, even though this is a one-generation replica of it. It's amazing. The actual stone is amazing. It's Pennsylvania sandstone. It looks like limestone. It was some question whether it was limestone or sandstone. It is Pennsylvanian sandstone. There's no question about that. So the age of it, according to evolutionists, geologists, that it's already been laid out. So Pennsylvanian sandstone has already been established where it is in the United States and how old it is. But what they weren't counting on is a handprint in that sandstone. Now, the only way this handprint could be put in there is two ways. Number one, it's carved. Number two, it's some sort of weird animal, 200 million years ago. Or three, that again, this is during the worldwide flood, shortly after, during it, when this was laid down, and when the sandstone was soft. Somebody was getting up off the deck. Their fingers are greatly more impressed on the middle and forefinger, or first finger, and the thumb. Now, they just took a camera, one of those long, skinny $1,500 close-up barrel cameras, and they just in the last month, they photographed it and went inside for the first time, and they were able to see the cuticle of the finger. I also have CAT scans of this. It looks like it's legitimate. So again, what does it mean? When you see these things, you can ask yourself the question, maybe the creationist model, there was a worldwide flood where we had accelerated geological processes taking place, where humans, dinosaurs, and all sorts of animals and insects all coexisted in a very lush environment, a little bit different than what it is today. And that through that 371 days that the flood took place, that's how long it was, the entire event from start to finish, that there was a lot of geological activity that supersedes what we see today, all in one very short period of time. So, there you have it. And then what we did was, and again, this is just a mold of it, but we made a mold of the impression just to see what we could see. And doing this to the original with rubber would be, which was done at one point, would be the best. But we did a mold, and this is what came out of it. Now, some like to argue that this is not a human handprint; it's something else. It's certainly not carved, I can tell you that. With the CAT scan, it shows that there's compression. What I mean is that if there's compression in the mud, it shows up either if you cut it and look at the cross-section, or if you do a CAT scan. And you can see this for yourself. You can see this. You can get this close from it. It's in a plexiglass case at the Glen Rose, Texas Creation Evidence Museum, just south of Dallas. And we've been there twice. It's an amazing place. I would say it's one of the best museums in the world. Yeah, in the world, because of the significance of things that they have there and what it does to one's life, literally. Stephen Jay Gould and Stephen Hawkins both together went down to the Creation Evidence Museum a couple of decades ago and got a tour of the museum and saw some of these artifacts. I don't know what their conclusion was, but they actually came to see it for themselves. So there you go. All right. So that's our presentation for the day. What I want to do right now is answer maybe some of your questions, and I'd like to enjoin you to come on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And when you do, I'll shout you out, and I'm going to do either a tooting of the horn or some bubbles. And how many likes do we have here? 5,000 likes? We get that up to 10,000 likes. I'm going to do the no. Here's how many subscribers we have on YouTube. We get that up just 7. I'll do the mouse trick. You guys have been waiting for this. You guys want the mouse trick. Thank you, love. I appreciate the fact that you did. You can go to YouTube. I'm not going anywhere. And subscribe. We're just, doing like a telethon drive, whatever you want to call it. Our content is becoming more comprehensive. It's long form. You're not going to see it here. You'll see bits and pieces of things, but the content on TikTok is different than YouTube. If that's your thing, somebody just subscribed, already subbed. All right, thank you very much. What do you think about CERN? I don't know what that is. Your vid was interesting and good. Thank you. All right, so go to YouTube. Who built the pyramids? The Egyptians, I guess. The Hebrews, I guess. Were there giants involved? Maybe. certainly the technology was far greater than what we see on the walls in hieroglyphics. So after seeing, I immediately unsubscribed. Okay, and you know that's the beautiful thing about this is that we can do this. We can unsubscribe when we want to, and we can subscribe when we want to. No, I have not heard of CERN. I'm sorry. All right, for those, some of you have already subscribed to our Lost World Museum YouTube channel, and I thank you. And all you got to do, I got 4 more, and I'm going to do the mouse trick. So if you guys want to see the mouse trick, oh, the mouse trick is awesome. Subscribe to YouTube. Steve, this is for you, brother. Steve just subscribed to the Lost World Museum YouTube channel, and that is for you, brother. Thank you very much. Keep us posted. Yeah, you know, so when you subscribe on, this I didn't know. When we do a premiere, which is when we introduce a video, not just by pushing the button, you know, but when we actually premiere it formally, it puts it in a queue and it gets it ready, and then it counts down, and then you can get a reminder, but it sends it out to everybody a half an hour beforehand and lets you know that the premiere is going to take place. All right, you look funny too. Thank you for subscribing. We're at 2 more, and clowns, that's right. Next person who subscribes, I'm going to do the bubbles. Uh-oh, somebody just subscribed. Annie, I'm going to do the bubbles for you because, you know, weak-minded fools. And that's for Annie for subscribing to the Lost World Museum. And some of you, oh, there we go. Thank you, Teenager 4. Thank you, Bama Girl. Are you from Alabama? And thank you, Fox Rad. I appreciate your support. More and more. And this is for all of you guys. That's for all you guys. Now I'm going to do the mouse trick, okay? This is going to be for everyone that has subscribed. Thank you, Enter Sparks. I appreciate it. I'm going to do the wave. All right, you guys. All right, thank you very much, Flyboy. I appreciate that. Here's for Flyboy. This is the mouse trick. This is for everybody, and whether you subscribe to the Lost World Museum YouTube channel or not. But my wife and I are working on our next Peru video, and of Sacsayhuaman. I know it sounds kind of funny, but Sacsayhuaman is one of the fortresses just outside of Cusco, Peru, with some huge megalithic stones, and we're going to talk about it. We went there, we touched them, we measured them. You're not supposed to touch them. We touched them, we measured them, and we'll show you some of the characteristics of it that make it very, very compelling. All right. And thank you guys. Thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm not a scientist. I'm Joe. I'm just like maybe you're a scientist. I'm just a guy. Just a guy like most of the people on here that have an interest in these things, that want to know answers in regards to the origins question. And I'm just going to make a plug for God. Can I do that without sounding preachy? If you've never read the book of Genesis, or the first 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters, chapter 1 through chapter 7 is from Adam to the flood. That's 1,500 years of our lost heritage, our lost history. I encourage you to go read it. King James Version is kind of tough. New King James Version is a lot easier. You can find that online, Bible Gateway, and it's a good read. It really is. It's interesting. It's compelling. So here's the come on, man. Okay, here's the whoop. So this is the mouse. He looks like a mouse, you know. And he's pretty good. There he goes. Okay, he's settled down now. Oops. Oh my goodness. He always gets a little bit crazy when, you know, how old is water? It could be 1 trillion years old. I don't know. I have a feeling that there was this ice ball that then 6,000 to 10,000 years ago God came and then did his thing. That was created a long, long before that. That's an idea at least, okay? All right, so we're done here. I got to go. We'll be back on tomorrow morning early, sometime around 8 o'clock. So thank you very much for joining us. I really do believe in the Bible. It's not that I didn't before. I just didn't have an interest, nor did I really come to the conclusion, like it coalesced in my head, whether or not it could be trusted or not, that it was what it is or not. That happened when I was 23 years old, when I was in the Navy. And it was basically, I was walking on the ship and it came to my mind randomly, is it, and it didn't come in this question, but close to it, is it apes or Adam? Can the Bible be trusted? And I thought about it for a second. I visited this theory first, and then I said, this is dark, hopeless. You're going to die. Nobody's going to know who you are in 100 years. And I just thought that was really depressing. And then I went over here and I went, I guess it's got to be. And it was the weirdest thing, too, because I wasn't like looking for anything necessarily. And nobody was like pushing me in that direction. I was by myself in San Diego while I was in the Navy, and there was no like influences saying, hey, you need to be a Christian or you're going to go to hell. It wasn't any of that, you know. It was just an intellectual conversation I was having with myself, and very quickly, within just a matter of moments, I had decided that it was worthy of at least exploring, and that's what I did. So, all right. You guys take care. Again, take a screenshot of this. This is how you get our 2 reports. This joining our newsletter, and this is what you're going to get. Is there life on other worlds? I'll send that to you later today. This is the one you can get immediately. 3 top reasons Noah's Ark must still exist. That's how you get it. You go to museumalerts.com, put in your email address, and join us. We've got 1,650 people that are going to be receiving our newsletter tomorrow, sometime tomorrow on Sunday. You can be it, and it's all free. Free! MuseumAlerts.com. I'm John Adolphi with the Lost World Museum, where we dare to ask the most provocative and what DAT? Yeah, 10,000 likes, man. We got 10,600 likes thanks to you. I'll be on tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. I'll see you then, and we can continue this conversation. We asked the question, where did we come from? Did we come from an ape, alien, or Adam? And I'm happy here to hear what you guys have to say, as well as be able to share a few things from this side of it, okay? I don't need your lies. You can leave this planet. And Joe, I'm glad you stuck around for a while. Thanks for coming on. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to DM us. You guys have a great day. You too, Joe. I was where you were at one point, and I don't mean that in a condescending way in the least. Take care.